Every hero needs a villain. That's all caps. You get my MF Doom reference? We're gonna give you 6 exercises that you can use in a push-pull workout to help you be more athletic, and we're gonna start right now. Many great stories have that protagonist and the antagonist. Just look at Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader, Batman and the Joker, biceps and triceps. The list goes on. We can create an athletic eternal champion with that antagonist and protagonist workout, which is going to be the push and the pull workout. Antagonistic training is pretty easy to understand. A lot of times what we can do is do a main movement. So let's just use a real easy example. Let's say I'm gonna do a bench press. There's some research that will show that if we train the antagonistic group of the bench press, so let's look at the muscles of the bench. We got the pecs, the delts, the triceps. If we train the antagonistic groups to your bench, so now we look at, all right, let's train the rhomboids, the traps, the biceps. There's evidence to show that there actually will be an increase in motor unit drive on the main group that you're training, okay? So if we're, in this case, using the bench press, the back work can actually increase our neural drive on the chest. And that can happen over time with other specific muscle groups as well. So when we use antagonistic training, we can actually get more work done in that same time period, but we also can elicit a greater strength response. And that's the basis of the push-pull workout. So what better way to start off that push-pull workout than with a technical coordination exercise? And we're gonna start that with a power clean and a power jerk. Okay, so we wanna go with an explosive movement right off the floor as quickly as possible. When we get into that front rack position, we wanna focus on having dynamic trunk control. And then we wanna drive as quickly as possible through that counter movement. Okay, so we're gonna dip, counter movement, drive as vertical as possible, and then catch nice and tight overhead. This is an absolute fantastic movement for athletes to learn how to execute at high speeds. Okay, so if you can do something like 5 doubles and do it with about a minute to a minute and a half rest, and you wanna increase your force production, you wanna also think about if you're jumping up for a ball, you land and you have to re-jump. That's how you can use a power clean, power jerk. Also, Werner Gunther, one of the strongest athletes to ever walk the planet, would use a power clean and a power jerk as a fast complex when he was leading into a peak. So you could even use this during the summit phase. 5 sets of 2 is a perfect rep scheme to increase that neural drive. Now we gave you that technical coordination exercise that you can use to increase your strength with a push-pull workout. Now we're gonna give you some absolute strength movements. Let's start off with that bench press. And one big factor, if you wanna get more athletic, and we're talking about the bench, we wanna move this absolute strength movement fast, okay? So one thing that I like to do is say, hey, these reps are unbroken. Or one other trick that you can do is you can actually put a prescribed weight on the bar and time yourself, okay? And you can time yourself on a weekly basis to see if that time decreases. So the second exercise for the push-pull would be an absolute strength movement. The push aspect is going to be an unbroken bench press. And we can do this here, 5 sets of 5, okay? Here, so unbroken, this would be a normal rep, right? Here, come up. Now, unbroken would look like this. What I recommend doing is saying, let's start with 5 sets of 5. Start at 75%, get to 79%, get to 82%. That's a way that you can sort of break up those rep schemes. This is stuff that we do inside of our app, Peak Strength. When you're in there, we don't even have to worry about those percentages. We'll provide those percentages for you so you can use these exercises during that push-pull workout prescribed directly from Peak Strength. Now, on to the pull version of this pairing. Now, the second part of this absolute strength movement is going to be a rope climb. I love rope climbs for increasing that rate of force production in our upper body, not only through our grip and our biceps, but also through our lats. It's almost exactly like a plyometric movement for our upper body if you look at the strength curve. So we're gonna hit that unbroken bench press, then we're gonna come over here, and if we have about 16 to 18 feet, we're gonna execute one rope climb. If you don't have access to a rope climb, there's a couple things that you could do. We also have inside of our app Peak Strength an alternative movement, which is going to be a sled pull with the rope. If you don't have sled pull with a rope, if you don't have access to that in your gym, you could do explosive pull-ups, sort of where you're going as quickly as possible, through an unbroken rep scheme. So you can use those two examples as a replacement, but again, we're going back to unbroken bench press followed by the rope climb as quickly as possible. We want to make sure we're getting athletic and getting stronger at the exact same time. Now, the next two movements, we're gonna go into accessories. So we gave you that power clean, power jerk with the technical coordination movement. Then we got into the absolute strength portion, right? That's where we had the unbroken bench press with the rope climbs. And we gave you a couple different variations. Remember the sled pull or the explosive pull-ups. Those are all inside of our app Peak Strength. Just like this next exercise is inside of our app, and it's actually demonstrated by a Division I national champion. Okay, so we wanna use an alternating dumbbell incline bench as an accessory for the push part. So I'm gonna show you here. This is gonna lead to tremendous control of the trunk and help you create more joint stability while leading to strength gains in that upper chest and the delts and even more of the triceps. So we can go here, alternating, okay, focusing on more time under tension, a little bit more control, a little bit more focus. Let's say we do 9 on each arm, okay? 4 sets of 9 on each arm. But we wanna take about a 30-second rest. We go 30 seconds, we can come right onto this incline bench right here, and now we can do a sweet chest row, okay? So we're here, like this, come together. And usually, if I'm doing a push-pull, I wanna do with the pulls, I wanna do a little bit higher reps, like 17 to 20 reps. And the reason being is that my lats and my biceps respond really, really well to longer time under tension, okay? And I'm even thinking about hugging my spine right now with my rhomboids at the top. And driving that sternum into the bench. So we wanna hit that dumbbell incline, alternating, rest about 30 seconds, come over on that incline bench, hit that chest row. You can do these pairings basically at any time during your periodization, but I would take them out of the summit phase because during the summit phase, we want our accessories to be a little bit easier. That's when we're trying to gear up for a big time peak. The alternating dumbbell incline can be a little bit more challenging. I'm really out of breath. Because of that alternating aspect, that makes it a little bit harder to coordinate. So use these two movements, push, pull, get more swole. I'm gonna start getting him brand new Penn State gear because he's still wearing the gear that I got him when I was in college. Okay, so there's my dad getting swole up on the bench press. One of the things that he taught me at an early age is if you wanna bench a lot, you've gotta do a lot of clap push-ups. And that's gonna be that next aspect behind this push-pull, is that we've gotta try to get 50 clap push-ups every night if we're a male and we bench under 315. If we're a chick and we're in high school and we can't bench 200 plus pounds, or we can't bench like 175 to 200 pounds, we need to do more clap push-ups, okay? So we're gonna do 3 sets of 9 clap push-ups, and we're gonna pair this with a pulling exercise, which I'll demonstrate. I'm gonna demonstrate first, just clap push-ups. We want that plyometric aspect to light up our triceps. So we're just here, boom, 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 okay? I wanna try and clap at the high point, and I actually wanna clap. A lot of kids won't actually make contact, so make sure you're actually clapping. Now, we're gonna pair that for the pulling part with Zotman curls. So we'll be here, come up, rotate, under control. Try and explode on the way up, boom, rotate, under control. Up, rotate, under control. One of the aspects that we forget about in sports performance is that our brachialis plays a major role in force production on elbow flexion. Bicep curls can actually help you as an athlete. So if you hit those two exercises, you're gonna get a little bit more athletic, you'll get a little bit more coordinated. It's a great way to end that push-pull workout. We go back over this. Power clean, power jerk, right? Got into the bench press, rope climbs, okay? After that, alternating dumbbell incline bench with that chest row. We just finished explosive push-ups, clap push-ups with the explosive Zotman curls. These are all movements that are inside of our app, Peak Strength. You can head over to peakstrength.app, the Google Play Store, the Apple iOS Store. You can download that for free today. The worst thing that will happen is you'll get 5 free workouts. So pick up Peak Strength today, because if you wanna start your journey to attain that peak strength, it's gotta start somewhere. Because remember, freaks, if you wanna become a champion, you've always gotta cultivate your power. Peace.